Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about what you can do if you feel like you don't see the progress at the gym that you want to see. Maybe you have some goals and you feel like you are doing everything, you are going to the gym every day and you are really trying, but you are stuck on a plateau and nothing is happening. So I'm going to give you 5 tips of what you can do to start to see more progress at the gym. So let's start with tip number 1, and that is progression. To see progress at the gym, you need to have some kind of progression during your workout. And with that I mean that you should in some way try to do something else than you are doing all the time. For example, if you're going and doing squats with 40 kilograms, every time you're doing leg session and you're doing 40 kilograms and you are doing 10 reps and 3 sets and you're doing that week in and week out and week in and week out, and in the beginning you're gonna see results, but then you're gonna hit the plateau and you're feeling like I'm doing the same thing but nothing is happening. And the reason why is because your body is adapting to what you're doing. So if you're doing the same thing constantly and you're not improving yourself and putting any progression into your workouts, you're not gonna go through that plateau. You can do progress in a few different ways. Either you can change the exercise and do a new exercise with new type of movements. For example, you can include some lunging, you can include some deadlifting if you're just used to doing just squats. So that is one tip. You can actually change the exercises. But if you do like the exercises squatting and you do want to stay with the squats, you can do progress in 3 different ways with still doing the same type of exercise. 1, you can increase the weight, which means you are hiring the weights a little bit. Don't go too fast on this. Do it in a progression and hire the weights a little bit at a time. But that is one way to actually do a progress at the gym. Another way is to do more reps. So if you're always doing 10 reps on this 40 kilo, you can instead start to do 15 or 12 reps, and then you will lift more volume during your workout, and that is one progression. Another way is to increase your sets. So if you're always doing 3 sets, start doing 4 sets. And by doing that, you are doing more volume and you will have more progression and more results at the gym. And you can apply this at whatever you want to do. If you're always running 5 kilometers and you feel like you cannot improve your time, for example, you can start running like intervals, for example, so you're running faster for a shorter amount of time and then you're resting, and in that way you are doing something that your body's not used to, and you will be able to actually run 5 kilometers in less time. So do some kind of progression and track what you are doing at the gym. If you feel like you're hitting a plateau, track what you are doing and you can see what you can do to switch it up a little bit and actually do something different. Tip number 2 is not be afraid to lift heavy weights. It's very typical on my female client base that you are afraid to lift heavy weights, but you do want to have results like a shredded body, but you don't want to have like this blown up, swollen muscles. And I can tell you something, that it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of hard work to actually get this bulky muscles, if you want to call it like that. And I would say that everyone can benefit from lifting a little bit heavier if you can do it with a proper technique. And if you are afraid to lift heavy weights, take someone with you to the gym and let them help you if you feel like you are unsecure if you can lift the weights by yourself. But don't be afraid to put on some weight. Tip number 3 is going to be set goals for your training, and that is a very easy way to actually see the progression. If you have your goals, you can always see if you're doing progression, if you are getting closer to your goal. Put up goals so you know where you want to go with your training, and that is the number 1 tip for almost everything, for motivation, for everything. To actually see results, you need to have some goals so you know what that result is. So tip number 4, I'm just going to say high intensity training, and that is something that you can include to achieve most of the goals. If your goal is fat burning, high intensity training is super superb. I cannot explain how superb it is. You're gonna get your heart rate up, you're gonna have some fat burning going on after the workout, and it's so much better to include some heat training than just stand on the cross trainer for an hour. But you can of course mix it up and do some steady state cardio and some high intensity cardio. But to do some kind of plyometrics, some heat, some Tabata or something that gets your heart rate up a little bit, that is so good for your body and it's good for your fat burning. If your goal is to build muscles, I bet that you still want to work out your cardiovascularity, because it's very important to always in some way work out your cardiovascularity. Then the high intensity training is superb for you, and you will also burn away a little bit of that fat storage, because when you are bulking, you don't want to bulk in unnecessary fat, you want to bulk in the gain to the muscles. And if your goal is to be faster at running, or you are doing a marathon, it's very hard for your body to train on that terms all the time. For example, if you're going out and like running a marathon a few days a week, is very harsh on your body. It's better to include some high intensity training, and that would actually make you faster when you're running like the marathon. So high intensity training is a very good way to incorporate in your training to actually see some progress. And I have had so many clients that have hit a plateau, and then I included a little bit of high intensity training and they spike up like this and their training is going through the roof. So I just love high intensity training. So tip number 5, lastly but for sure not least, is nutrition. And it doesn't matter what your goal is, you need to incorporate the right nutrition for your goals. And if you're not eating right, you will not have the progression at the gym that you want. So I cannot stress enough how important nutrition is. And I don't say that there is one way that suits everyone and everyone's goals, because it depends on if your goal is weight loss, if it's fat burning, if it's building muscle. Whatever your goals is, there is one way to eat to get better results. For some goals, it's better to have a little higher in carbs. If you have other goals, it's better to have lower in carbs and higher in fat and protein. If you want to gain weight, you need to have plus calories. You need to eat more calories than you are burning. And if you want to lose weight, you need to eat less calories than you are burning. So nutrition is really everything. It's like the key to your progression at the gym. So don't think that you can eat whatever you want just because you go to the gym. If you do really have goals with your training, that is not going to do it for you. So that was my 5 tips to see more progression at the gym. So I hope you guys did like this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and be a part of my YouTube family here, because I do consider this as my YouTube family. I upload on this channel every Tuesday and every Friday, and sometimes I throw in a weekend vlog on Sundays. And if you do want to see more of me, go and check out my beauty channel where I did the tutorial on this look. So with that being said, I just hope I see you guys in my next coming videos. So bye!